defense that's reminiscent, Jeff, of that title team in '08.
Right, they were good defensively all year, but they're back to being a special defensive team, which gives them a chance to win a championship.
And of course, it's Prime to Perform defense presented by Gatorade shows those numbers.
Oh, those are big-time numbers, and I'll tell you, if they are to win it all, it's going to be because they got it done at the defensive end, taking away first option. They're making it hard last night. The other night on Orlando, particularly Dwight Howard in the post, when the ball was entered into him, most times you would see help come. But Boston stayed at home on all the three-point shooters and dared Dwight Howard to beat them. If the Magic are to win, he's going to have to come through when he gets those type of opportunities.
Well, Dwight Howard has certainly taken his share of criticisms in Game 1, but he's not the only one, Mark, that has to play better for this Orlando team.
Well, you're right, but this just in. The Orlando Magic will not win this series if Dwight Howard is their best player. Simply put, too limited offensively. You talk about other guys taking pressure off of Dwight Howard. Just 13 points in Game 1. Well, you have to look at Jameer Nelson and Vince Carter. Two guys that have the ability to create offense. They've got to be in attack mode, whether it be with the basketball or moving without. Putting themselves in position to score. Also pick-and-roll situations. Jameer Nelson has got to force the issue. Look to score pick-and-roll situation and find a way to make life easier for Dwight Howard and the rest of the Cavs.
So we're set to go for Game 2 as we look at our starting lineups. First for the visitors, and the road team has not been a problem for this veteran Celtics squad. Paul Pierce, a terrific Game 1, 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists in that victory on Sunday afternoon. Meanwhile, for the Orlando Magic, Jameer Nelson and Vince Carter both doing the scoring, but Howard, Barnes, and Lewis very quiet offensively. Barnes and Lewis just 8 points combined. The two starting forwards for Stan Van Gundy. As we're set to go, and it'll be interesting to see the first quarter because that's where Boston came out with a flourish in that opening period of Game 1. Magic really struggled. The Celtics were in rhythm and just pounded them, went up by as many as 20. Magic made that run in the fourth quarter. Boston had given themselves a huge lead to withstand any kind of run. The crowd fired up. Boy, were they quiet after the loss. Again, their first home loss in almost 2 months was Sunday. But they have, last time they lost back-to-back home games was games 4 and 5 of the NBA Finals against the Lakers. Pierce right away scores the first bucket.
That's a big-time shot, but that's very good defense by Vince Carter right there. You can't do anything better than he just did.
Carter is on Pierce. Barnes is on Ray Allen. Nelson kicks it out. Carter did a good job attacking in Game 1. Attacks there and unable to get it to go. Last touch by Howard.
And you look at that first possession, pick and roll Jameer Nelson. I thought the first time all series, Dwight Howard was able to roll to the paint with not a green jersey on him.
And I thought that could have and should have been a lob right up to the rim.
Stan Van Gundy talking about Game 1, said lack of energy and effort was key. He does not expect that. One of the things he said about his team all year, they bring it every night. As Pierce is fouled on his way to the basket, goes down.
And to me, this is the way that Dwight Howard's going to have to get off in this series. Pick and roll, has the ability to float. Nobody on him. You have to deliver the basketball on point or throw it to the rim and allow him to do his damage that way.
So Pierce quickly to the free throw line. Whereas Stan Van Gundy did not like his team's energy in Game 1. That's what Doc Rivers loved the most. He didn't feel his team played their best basketball, but they played with such a force that it forced the Magic to come from behind right from the get-go. When Orlando scored just 14 points in the first period of Game 1. And you look at the success that these Celtics have had on the road. Again, they've won 3 straight games, 2 and 5 in Cleveland, Game 1 in Orlando. What's been the key to their road success, Jeff?
Well, they're a very well-balanced team as Jameer Nelson penetrates and does just what Mark said he had to do, which is go at the basket and create plays.
Perkins call for a travel.
But to get back to your point, Mike, I think what they did well was they're a well-balanced team. They're offensively efficient. The only thing that gets in the way of their offense is turnovers. And then defensively, they have the length, the intensity, and the scheme to be the best defensive team in the NBA in the playoffs.
They clean up a wet spot that Jameer Nelson pointed out. Nelson had a slow start to game one, but played well in the second half and finished with 20 points, 9 rebounds as well. Carter hits the jumper.
Exactly what we talked about. Those are the two guys that's going to have to get off offensively, and they have to be in attack mode all night long.
Carter knocked it away, gets it back. Layup won't go. Nelson on the offensive board. Nice pass to Barnes. Poked away by Pierce. Barnes again will try it. That won't go. Howard knocks away. And Harley heard the whistle, but there was one called, and it's in the act of shooting. So the Magic will shoot free throws. Ray Allen picks up his first.
A good job chasing down loose basketballs that they were not able to get in game one. There's a lot of contact right there as Matt Barnes tries to go to the basket 2 or 3 times.
Right, but that no call on Vince Carter was the right no call. And this is where the Magic, to me, have to manage their frustration. If you miss with limited contact, you cannot look to somebody else like an official. And Boston has the same issue sometimes. You got to be able to play through it. Either make, or if you do get hit, make sure it's a credible foul that you're complaining about.
And especially you play against a Boston Celtic team, you know coming in, especially the front court, they're going to bang you, they're going to foul you, they're going to make you earn your points.
And this is playoff basketball. The mentality should be, okay, I'm going to make sure you're going to call something next time. I'm going through him, and I'm going to dunk on him.
Rondo setting it up. Allen to Perkins. Good ball movement. Pierce little head fake and hits a 3. Paul Pierce was 6 of 8 in game one. He'd been struggling in the playoffs from the field for much of the postseason, but he's off to a terrific start here in game 2.
And that play was all set up by Ray Allen's pass to Kendrick Perkins.
Perkins, the block shot. Barnes nearly stole it. Perkins is second in the playoffs behind Dwight Howard in shot blocking. Pierce will try again. 3 for 3 is Paul Pierce. And he has all 9 Celtic points.
Now, I played with a lot of great players, and this was moments that they live for. On the road, pressure games, looking to attack.
Carter attacks there, draws the foul, and a chance for a 3-point play. He has not settled for jumpers so far in games 1 and here to start game 2.
And he talked about it. This was what he was coming in to do. Put the ball on the floor and make plays. That time, pick and roll, gets to the cup. That's easy offense. What that's going to allow him to do is open up opportunities for the other guys on the floor because of his aggressiveness.
Carter in his first year after being acquired from New Jersey had a good solid regular season, averaged just under 17 a game, but these are the games they acquired him for.
And I like what Jameer Nelson's doing, playing with more energy, getting the ball up quicker versus thinking about what play to call.
Garnett has it stripped. Barnes poked it away first. Lewis ahead to Barnes. Barnes up and throws it down. And the Magic have their first lead of the series. They trail the entire game 1. And there's no question you see a different Magic team to start than what you saw Sunday afternoon. Garnett gets the offensive board again, poked away by Carter.
And you got to love that. Other guys engaging to go after the rebound. So Carter deflects the rebound, not able to get it, but the effort keeps the ball alive.
Howard. Garnett on him. Jameer Nelson on the drive, flips it up, won't go. Ball kept alive and the Celtics come away. Rondo knocked away again, but the ball goes right to Perkins. Barnes made a nice play, but Perkins hustled as the trailer picked it up. Howard against Perkins, who has always played him well. They strip him again. Rondo sidesteps, blocked by Howard, but a foul. And free throws for Rajon Rondo. The foul is on Jameer Nelson.
I would much rather see what we watched Kevin Garnett do. Kick the ball out and set a quick screen. But I love the fact that he did not complain, got back on the defensive end, and blocked the layup attempt of Rondo.
Again, you see a different effort to start. Your brother Stan Jeff said after watching the film, You saw two teams in two different speeds to start the game. They're both playing at a pretty high speed right now to start game 2, and you expected that from Orlando. For Boston, meanwhile, they have to know that and weather that first hit.
Well, and also, they're playing for something significant. They're thinking about winning a championship, and if you do that, you don't give away games by not being ready to play. To say after the game, as multiple Magic players did, that this was a wake-up call, my first thought was, are you kidding me? Do you not know who you're playing and what you're playing for?
One of the great sports cliches of our time. Lob to Howard. A little too high. And I've not seen them been able to even attempt that so far. Rondo, oh, pretty move from Rajon Rondo.
That's a heck of a move by Rondo, but that's bad defense by the Magic. 3 guys in the paint area allowing him to get all the way to the cup.
And Stan Van Gundy calls timeout. Boston, they've hit 5 of their first 6 shots from the field. And after briefly trailing, back up by 4.
Rondo on the offensive end in transition. Take him to the streets. Sees white jerseys, but it does not matter. Excuse me, I'm getting to the cup.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA.
Back in Orlando, Magic trail by 4 early in the first. Let's welcome in Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Hey, Michael, you guys have already touched on the fact that the Celtics defense has been a major factor throughout the course of their run to this Eastern Conference Finals. Maybe none more important than the defense they played inside against Dwight Howard. When I talked to Kendrick Perkins, he said, listen, the interior defenders are focused on a couple of things. One, staying attached to his body. That way his athleticism and speed does not play a part in his effectiveness. At least in this instance, he's hustling back. The second thing, and Doc Rivers said this before the game tonight, no dunks. They really feel like that fuels his energy and effort. And then Kendrick Perkins summed it up. He said, Doris, the essence of this is if Dwight Howard is smiling a lot, we've got problems. We did not see the smile in game 1. We'll see as it wears on tonight, Mike.
Well, he certainly smiles, Doris, after the dunks. It gets him going, gets the team going, gets the crowd going.
How do you need to get going in an Eastern Conference final game? I mean, can't you just get going? No, I'm being serious. I mean, I don't understand that mentality. And I'm impressed that Kendrick Perkins is calling Doris by her first name. I like it how they have a good relationship.
Rondo lobs it into Garnett. He's doubled, gets away, and he's bumped. That'll be on Howard. And that's Dwight Howard's first personal. Now, Howard in game 1, he did have 12 rebounds, 5 block shots, but in addition to struggling from the field, he also turned the ball over 7 times. Ray Allen. Garnett, tough turnaround. Fight for the rebound. Perkins lost it. And last touch by Jameer Nelson. New 24 for Boston. Jameer Nelson, such a key for the Orlando Magic. Doc Rivers said before the series, he's the heart. He's the one that gets them going. He did a bit in the second half, as we mentioned. See him playing off Rondo, and a foul on Barnes. A little over aggressive on his ball denial against Ray Allen. First on Barnes, and that's already 4 team fouls for the Magic.
You know, Ray Allen does such a great job moving without the basketball, so actually he puts so much pressure on the defense even when he does not have the ball.
Doc Rivers calls him the best decoy in the NBA. Rondo, a jump shot. And there's much improved area from Rajon Rondo's game. 7 straight points for Boston.
But if you're Jameer Nelson, you can live with that type shot. You give help, and then you close out to the shooter with a contest. You want Rondo shooting jump shots.
Howard spins, takes his time. Nice left-handed shot. No rush there. This did an excellent job.
He did a good job stopping his initial thrust, little back dribble to leave Pierce to get out of the lane, and then went into his counter move.
Garnett to Perkins. Good interior passing. A late whistle and a foul. And I believe it's going to go against Vince Carter. So that's 2 on Carter and more free throws. Well, Carter's going to have to come out.
He starts on his move. He sees Pierce in the lane, back dribble. Then he goes into his counter, straight up and to the rim. And down here, Vince Carter got a foul because Rashard Lewis is coming to Ray Allen before the pass is being thrown to Ray Allen, which means it's 2-on-1 inside. Howard's got to guard both. And that's just that all started because of Rashard Lewis.
Perkins, the other starter besides the big three and the most indispensable player in Rondo. Perkins knows his role, plays it as well as anybody in the league. He's still only 25 years old. Another one of those players came right from high school to the NBA. Wasn't easy for him his first couple of years, but he has become such a valuable member of a championship team, and this team as well. Redick, you see in the game, played well in game one. Shot clock at 5. Redick with a hand in his face. Way off. Pierce the rebound. Rondo pushing. Celtics did a good job in fast break opportunities in game one. Perkins rushed it, but Garnett right there. Allen wide open three. That's off the mark. Rondo takes it away from Howard. Falling down. Turns it over. And then Redick can't hold on. And still down is Rondo, as the Celtics quickly run out to check on him, including head athletic trainer Ed Lessert. Rondo tripped and fell as he passed the ball back out. He's an unbelievable rebounder for a 6'1" guard. And it appeared after he lands, watch his head. Hits the court hard. So we'll take a quick break and check on Rajon Rondo, who just got up after this timeout. Back in Orlando as the 2010 playoffs continue in the Western Conference Finals. Back in action tomorrow from LA. Lakers with a dominant performance in game one. Kobe Bryant, the 40 points. That game on TNT tomorrow night, and then ESPN on Saturday. Game 3 as this series shifts to Boston. 8:30 tip-off. Eastern Conference Finals, and Rondo apparently is okay. Whacked his head, a little shaken up, but he stays on the floor.
Actually, Rondo is asking Kevin Garnett right now what happened. Didn't know what happened after the play was made.
Well, that's not a good sign if you don't know what happened. If you're him.
Well, his eyes were closed, so he couldn't follow the play after getting knocked, but he is a tough kid. This great hustle on the play. Rondo tells Allen to go through. They want to get it to Garnett. Perkins back out Pierce. Shot clock at 3. Pierce on the drive. Pierce have to put it up. Just gets it off. Barnes got a piece of it. And a 24-second violation. Good defensive sequence there from Orlando.
And we saw in the first game where Dwight Howard laid back and allowed Paul Pierce to have room off that screen and roll and shoot the jump shot. That time closed the space and allowed Pierce to go the other way, giving Matt Barnes some room to defend.
That was great defense, but when you look out here, who is going to score for Orlando? Carter in foul trouble, got off to a good start. Lewis guarded by Garnett. Howard guarded by Perkins. They don't have a lot of options right here.
Lewis needs to start looking for a shot and certainly start hitting it. And a foul on Perkins on the entry pass. Celtics not in the penalty yet as Perkins picks up his first.
I say something. If I'm Doc Rivers, I actually want Dwight Howard to score a basket on the block, which he did a couple of possessions ago, because it's fool's gold. Basically, if the Orlando Magic give the ball to Dwight Howard on the block, it's taking pressure off of my defense to defend what they do best, pick and roll and getting it into the seam.
Redick can't get it to fall as he found the seam inside. Here comes Rondo. Rondo to the basket. Blocked but fouled, and a lot of complaining. Rashard Lewis better be careful. There's more free throws for the Celtics. This will be their 7th and 8th attempt of the first quarter. Foul is on Rashard Lewis. That's his first. And Rondo again apparently okay. Rajon Rondo, he's called Veritek by Doc Rivers. Jason Varitek, the terrific catcher for the Boston Red Sox, he says he calls a game just like the veteran Varitek. And you see the numbers every season getting better. This year, spectacular season. Was an all-star, all-NBA defense first team.
Hold it. Varitek should be called Rondo.
Good point. Outstanding point.
I mean, or if you want to be called a catcher, call him Posada.
Yes,
no.
Now you're talking.
That's you can't be saying that in Boston. And it's always respect for your elders. Howard, travel. Perkins, excellent defense. The crowd and Howard thought that he got bumped. It is what you guys talked about. He just has to play through this.
Well, they're not going to win going to Dwight Howard on the block. Perkins is too good of a defender. He's forcing him away from the paint area, so he's daring him to make a move.
That's not a foul. I mean, I know everybody's frustrated, but that's not a foul.
Rondo, nice crossover inside to Perkins. Back out Pierce, puts up the three and puts it in. Paul Pierce 4 of 5 from the field, and the Celtics have opened up a 9-point lead. Ball goes back out to Barnes inside. Now Howard throws it and a foul. Now the lead is 9 as Howard with a chance for a three-point play.
See, Mike, it's easy basketball. He actually was open 3 seconds earlier. Jameer Nelson couldn't find him, but screen and roll. Now Perkins is off of his body and a big wide target. Now you put him in position to score as opposed to asking him to make a play. You make the play for him.
And if you're Jameer Nelson, you have to know if Rondo switches or veers back onto Howard's body, just throw it up to the rim or even off the board where it can just be a rebound. You don't have to make a picture-perfect bounce pass to him.
And I think that's a conversation that someone needs to have with Jameer Nelson on the floor, because right now that's a play he's not able to see because of his size.
Garnett and Allen. The ball movement for the Celtics. That's been a key to their success in this postseason run. Ray Allen misses that one.
I like how Matt Barnes is competing so far in this game.
And a foul away from the ball as Perkins now picks up his second. That will bring Rasheed Wallace off the bench for the Celtics. Boy, a lot of complaining from both teams. Wallace had an excellent game one.
And that's a foul.
That's a good call. You have to beat the guy to the spot. You can't just reroute him. And if you're Perkins, you're too valuable to take a foul like that.
Tom Thibodeau, the terrific assistant coach, with the explanation for Perkins. Misses the free throw. We've talked about Thibodeau the last couple of years. One of the candidates. He's been a superb assistant coach in Philadelphia, Jeff for you in Houston and New York. Remember a couple of years ago when jobs were open and he didn't get it, Magic Johnson even said, if this guy's available and GMs don't hire him, they should fire the GMs. That's how good they think, or Magic certainly thinks he can be. You know better than anybody.
Yeah, he's a fine coach, but he's not just a defensive coach. He's a very good all-around coach. Player development, offense, defense, and I really do think he deserves a shot. Sometimes you're looking to win the press conference. All I know is if you hire him, you'll win more games.
And I got to give credit, piggyback that, because I've been with him a couple of times but obviously with Jeff Van Gundy, and he's an outstanding coach, a guy called Deacon, because whatever the pastor said, he said amen every single day.
Rasheed Wallace misses, and Barnes the rebound. Redick gets hit. Shot won't go. He got half after the release, and he will shoot 3 free throws as Pierce now picks up his second foul. Pierce trying to get an explanation from Joe DeRosa. Tony Allen, who's been another spark for the Celtics, he'll quickly come in.
I couldn't tell if there was a foul there, but what I liked is Jameer Nelson throwing the ball ahead in transition versus keeping it himself.
And what I didn't like defensively, Paul Pierce defending J.J. Redick. You can't go underneath that screen. So got caught and had to go back to the body, creating the contact.
Redick, who is one of the great free throw shooters in the history of college basketball during his All-American career at Duke. Knocks that one down. He has become now a very good NBA player after initially struggling when he came into the league.
But Mike, we'll give you permission to say one of the great shooters in the history of college basketball. I mean, that's safe to say.
Oh, there's no question. From three-point range, he was automatic at the line. And he knocks down the free throws there, all three of them.
I would say J.J. Redick at Duke, Chris Mullin at St. John's, and Jeff Van Gundy at Nazareth.
I would agree with that.
Shot clock down to 6. Rondo to Wallace. Wallace for 3. Rebound Davis. Lewis or Barnes and Howard miscommunicated. Wallace the pass, not a good one. And the Celtics turn it over for the 5th time here in the opening quarter. Nelson looks over for the play.
And I think it's simple. You have to stick with pick and rolls for Nelson, trusting him to make a play.
And a foul on Tony Allen as Barnes goes to the basket. Now they're in the penalty.
Actually, they made the call on Rasheed Wallace grabbing Dwight Howard as he set the screen.
So Wallace picks up his first, my mistake, and Howard back to the line again.
But if you see what they're doing, they're starting it on one side, moving it more side to side off baseline screens tonight, which I think gets the defense of the Celtics more spread out versus just coming down and trying to post Howard on the strong side. I like that adjustment.
Hits that free throw. Well documented his free throw shooting. His career number at 60%, right around there during the regular season. He has stretches where he'll look okay from the line, and then stretches where he can't hit a thing. He works on it though. Makes a pair there, and Orlando have scored 8 straight after falling behind by 11. Well, they only scored 14 points in the first quarter of game 1. They've got 20 already here in game 2, but they still trail. Knocked out of bounds. Yeah, we'll have a timeout. Pierce sitting with 2 fouls as the Celtics have a 3-point lead. A terrific game 1. They want to take command of the series, but the Magic trying to bounce back. Game 2, Eastern Conference Finals from Orlando. Still first quarter action. To the NBA Finals, which Shaq ended in a 4-game sweep with the hand of the Houston Rockets. Dwight Howard's first trip to the NBA Finals was last year's 5-game loss to the Lakers. 2 dominant centers, 2 different players in many ways, similar in others. And Howard trying to get back there again. They had to come back to beat the Celtics last year in the conference semis. They trailed 3-2. They'll have to come back in this series as well after dropping game 1.
Yeah, but give them credit, playing much better to start this ball game. You talk about extra effort plays, help defense, active with chasing down loose rebounds.
And I'll tell you who's been impressive. Matt Barnes' effort. He's more disciplined defensively tonight, and he's playing at a fever pitch offensively.
Barnes did not even want to talk about it after game 1, but he's been bothered by back spasms, but he looks nice and loose tonight. Puts up the 3, won't go. Gortat, who had good minutes in game 1, on the follow. Marcin Gortat, the backup center, quickly contributes.
And playing the Twin Towers together, so if you're Gortat, you have to attack the offensive boards. That time taking advantage of the smaller Glenn Davis.
Ray Allen, how does he make that shot?
That's great defense by J.J. Redick, but that's one of the all-time shooters, and it's all the times he spends in the gym that allows him to make shots like that.
Celtics back up by 3. That ends the 10-0 run. Redick fires away. That's a 3 to tie the game. J.J. Redick, second straight game off the bench with a spark.
I like the adjustment by Redick, realizing that they're going underneath the screen and roll. He's too good of a shooter to turn that shot down.
Redick on Allen down the other end. Howard double teaming. Tony Allen. Rondo an open look. Magic will let that happen all game as Gortat the rebound. Good tip from Redick. Coming up on a minute remaining in the first. Nelson. Barnes, a floater blocked from behind. Gortat, another offensive rebound. Redick inside to Barnes, blocked by Wallace. Redick comes up with it again. Inside, Barnes will try again. Flips it up, that won't go. Redick another rebound. Both teams battling. Oh, terrific hustle here to start game 2, and the crowd appreciative. Redick for 3. Bang! J.J. Redick with 9 points off the bench. Rondo. Allen flips it up. Tough shot, gets the bounce. Nice play from Tony Allen. Final seconds. Nelson trying to get off a shot. Just gets it off in time. Won't go. And that will end the first period. Orlando ends it on a 16-4 run. They trail by 11. So they've got a 1-point lead. What a difference the game makes. J.J. Redick off the bench. And Dwight Howard much more active, much more involved. Redick for the second straight game providing a spark. First quarter complete here in game 2. Magic 28, Celtics 27.
Welcome back to Orlando with Doc Rivers. Obviously a different Magic team in terms of their energy. How did you like how your guys played in that first period?
Well, I liked how we started the game out. I thought we had great energy. The turnovers, the offensive rebounds, it's really what hurt us or allowed them to get back in the first game, and they're doing it again right now.
Obviously, J.J. Redick a factor in that first period. Where is he hurting you?
Well, off the dribble, really. I mean, he's made 2 big threes, but a lot of his stuff is off the dribble. Our guys have to respect that in him.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you.
Mike.
Well, Vince Carter got quick foul trouble. Redick came in and he produced.
And this is a great read by Redick. He relocates against a half help by Tony Allen, stepping behind the penetration instead of just staying in the corner where Tony Allen could have given the half help and still recovered. He made it a longer closeout for him and created space. And there's nobody on the Magic that's better prepared to play well than J.J. Redick. He puts the time in and he gets results.
He was a big part of the fourth quarter comeback in game 1 at 9 points off the bench, as you saw already with 9 here in the first period. Celtics doubled their scoring output in the first quarter from game 1 where they had just 14. Howard goes at Wallace. Good aggressive move. Allen high for the rebound. Well, the Magic, by the way, saying doubling their scoring output. We're at 28 here in the first. Shot won't go. Howard the rebound. Jason Williams off the bench, in and out.
Very good screen by Dwight Howard to get Jason Williams open.
And really, if the guards are patient because of the solid screen, Howard can get good position.
What a beautiful pass from Ray Allen. And Rondo with 9 points. He's already outscored his total from game 1. That's the beauty of the Celtics, though. They don't care who scores. Seem to have a different leading scorer every night in the playoffs. Williams left wide open. Can't connect. Howard the rebound. Back up and throws it down. Another dunk.
And really, that play is open because of the solid screen. Once again, Rasheed Wallace has to help a little bit. Rondo tries to get back. Nobody keeps a body on Dwight Howard. That's how he can do his biggest damage.
Wallace will try again. That's the three-pointer. Rasheed Wallace. And we've already had 8 lead changes in this game. Remember, game 1 was a wire-to-wire win. Michael Petrus. And Howard fouled. Rasheed Wallace picks up another. That's 2 on Rasheed Wallace.
Well, this is all set up by the screen. It means Howard, if you're not open on the roll, Rasheed Wallace is standing out a little bit more. And to me, what happened, the difference right there is Howard rolling harder, but also the Celtics not wrapping him up and taking that foul. You've got to put that guy on the free throw line.
Went there 12 times in game 1. Redick off the dribble. Gortat, his third offensive rebound already. Davis with the steal. The big guy down the floor, blocked by Gortat. And they exchange some words. Marcin Gortat again playing well off the bench. His teammates like it.
Great job on the offensive boards, the defensive boards, and chasing down. Get it out of here, big baby. That's my favorite monster.
My favorite Marcin. Very nice. I didn't think you were old enough to remember that show.
My mom and dad told me about it.
Davis. Nice penetration from Rondo, setting up his 4th assist. Two and a half gone by. Petrus slices through 4 different Celtics, draws the foul. A little out of control, but he'll get a couple of free throws out of it. And Michael Petrus goes to the line as Pierce with his 2 fouls will come back in. Glenn Davis, his first personal.
Well, Jason Williams went over the screen, which means he was trailing him, which allows Rondo at the rim. And that's a very difficult pass to go up to shoot and then wrap it around the big guy with your left hand.
Petrus misses the first. Petrus now in his 7th year in the league from France. He grew up in Guadeloupe. First 5 years in the league was with Golden State. It was a first-round pick. And then last year signed a free agent deal with Orlando. Was injured, didn't have a great regular season, but was very strong in the playoffs. This year up and down regular season. They expect some big things him in the conference finals and hope further. He's not afraid of the big moment. Good 3-point shooter and a good tough defender as well. Blocking foul call on Redick. His first.
I'm watching this Magic team, and things are going well to start off this ball game. Much better intensity, and they're engaged. But Rashard Lewis has got to find a way to get involved in this series. We are in game 2, and he has not displayed any of his arsenal yet. He's got to find a way to get into this series.
Mark only 6 points in game 1, 2 of 10 from the field, missed all 6 3-pointers. He hasn't taken a shot scoreless in 9 minutes tonight. Tony Allen misses. Gortat the rebound. Boy, he has been superb off the bench, already 5 boards. And Davis gets up too close. Smart play from Lewis. 14th foul. They'll take it out of bounds.
And he should have done what Paul Pierce does, which is shoot it on that. And you'd be sitting at the free throw line, finding your way to get involved in the game, as Mark spoke about.
2 fouls on Davis. It's the 3rd team foul. He didn't even look to make an attempt there. Lewis fakes on Davis. Davis for a big guy. He's got some good agility. Lewis to the basket. Nice aggressive move. There you go, Mark.
Those are the type of moves that he's going to have to make. He should be thinking, Glenn Davis is defending me. Get the basketball and make a play, whether it be a jump shot or put the ball on the floor.
And he's not going to allow him to get to his right hand.
Defensive 3 seconds. Call against Gortat. So it'll be a 1-shot technical as we take a break.
Glenn Davis defending Lewis at the 3-point line. Too easy offensively if you're Lewis. Put the ball on the floor and make a play. Help comes too late. The ability to finish at the rim. Celtics up 1.
Home, but they like life on the road. 4-2 in these playoffs. Doc Rivers says his team can handle anything on the road.
A lot of our guys have, they've been on this stage before, so I don't think they're in awe of clappers. Whatever that noise machine these guys are, I don't think that affects any of our guys. Hell, half of them can't hear it. They're too old, So I just think they come out and play. I don't think there's any. I just think right now we're playing well, and we have to continue to do that.
When they won the championship in 2008, they only won 3 road games the entire playoffs. They've already won 4 here in the 2010 postseason. And, Mark, I'm always amazed. You talk to 9 out of 10 veterans. They say they enjoy more hitting a big shot to silence a road crowd than hitting a big shot to have your home crowd go crazy. And you feel the same way, right?
Oh, absolutely. Not just in the regular season, but even more so in the playoffs. You love the fact that you're going on a bus. You're together as a team. You're going into enemy territory with 20,000 folks wearing the same type colors or jerseys, excited, and you get an opportunity to quiet the place. No better feeling.
They won a game in Miami, 2 in Cleveland, and 1 in Orlando for 4-2 away from the TD Garden in Boston. Pierce pulls up. Boy, Pierce has got it going again. 5 of 6 from the field, 15 points in just 9 minutes.
Looking like his old self. You talk about the size of LeBron James really bothered him. He's able to get where he wants on the floor in this series.
Petrus was not where he wanted to be on the floor. He was out of bounds.
Talk about size and strength, the ability to get guys on their heels. So he's getting to his spot and then elevates over the contest. That's good defense, better offense by Pierce.
Michael Finley getting some early action. He's not played a lot in the playoffs, the veteran. As Perkins inside, little jump hook gets it to go. 6 points for Perkins. Boston weathered a couple of storms. They're back up by 6. You see Vince Carter back in. He picked up 2 quick fouls. Carter steps back and fires, knocks it down, a 3-pointer. He has just unlimited range. That flick of the wrist.
I don't think people realize just how tough a shot that was. That's off balance, fading away, had to catch it. Knocks it down over a contest.
And I don't think Vince Carter knows how tough it was because he tries those so often. You know, sometimes you can be deluded into thinking if he makes a nice defensive play, you can be deluded to thinking that's a good shot.
Another tough shot. This one won't go. Gortat tips it, but right to Finley. Inside pass. Gortat fouls him on the entry pass. Basket will not count as Gortat picks up his first. Howard to come back in the game. Now the right corner 3 is just 22 feet, but even when he's 25, 30 feet from the basket, he doesn't have to change his form. That's how strong he is on shooting that shot.
I mean, that to balance yourself up as you're moving backwards and then have the strength to shoot it fluidly. That's beautiful basketball.
Petrus on Pierce. He did a good job on him last year in the conference semifinals. Garnett, that shot way off. Finley the rebound. Michael Finley, who won a ring with the Spurs, wants to win one with the Celtics as Pierce fouled on his way to the basket. That's the 3rd team foul against Orlando. First on Petrus. Finley asked to be let go by San Antonio early in the season. Wasn't playing. They let him go. Boston signed him. Finley reunited with Doc Rivers. They both went to the same high school in Chicago. Finley was younger. In fact, Finley's sister was a cheerleader on Doc Rivers' high school varsity team. Said he remembers a little kid who used to sit underneath the basket at his games. Ball deflected again, but it goes right to Rondo and he puts it in. Just under 6.5 remaining here in the second. Lewis deep to Howard. Nice entry pass, nice turnaround and finish.
Very good pass by Lewis, but Howard did a better job of not having to go to a dribble. Gathered, on balance, finish it. Good offensive play by Howard.
Pierce is short. Fight for the rebound. Rondo tried to save it. Magic ball. As Jameer Nelson is set to check in.
Well, good play by Jason Williams just to move it, and good play by Rashard Lewis. Think about it. He's trying to get the ball by Kevin Garnett with that wingspan. Good pass fake. Threw it on the bounce to Howard. Gather and score.
11 points for Howard. He only had 13 total in game 1. Carter draws the contact. Shot won't go. And Perkins, who just came in, quickly picks up his 3rd foul. Yeah, we'll have a timeout as Vince Carter will shoot free throws. Frustration for Kendrick Perkins. Second quarter of game 2. Boston by 3.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. Brought to you by
Ramirez from the Florida Marlins. Trotting after the ball and then blaming his manager. Freddie Gonzalez, are you kidding me? Like, when your teammates say you're wrong, your manager says you're wrong, you're wrong.
Well, he was benched today. Stan Van Gundy will watch Carter go to the line.
That really upset you, but I agree with you. He was trotting. There's no sugarcoating it. He was trotting.
I mean, what? And then to be making excuses for him. Oh, my goodness.
You know what? The sad thing is we're not shocked by this anymore.
You know what that showed me? There's not very many Derek Jeters anymore.
Oh, Jeff Van Gundy's.
Well, that's true. But seriously, more stars act entitled than responsible.
1-point Boston lead. And they had a huge lead in the first half, led by as many as 20 in game one. An 11-point lead early, but the Magic came back strong. Garnett, tough shot. Good defense from Howard. Kevin Garnett 0 for 4 from the field. Davis is now on Howard. We've got 18 fouls to give between Perkins, Davis, as Howard throws it up at the basket. All right, Jeff, what's the difference in Howard? Is it just activity and effort, or is he doing things differently?
Well, I think a lot of it is offensive energy. So when he screens, he's rolling harder, means he gets deeper. 2, he's posting a little deeper. There, good face-up, used his quickness. And I think Glenn Davis, you've got to give him a little space on that face-up and encourage him to shoot that jump shot.
Davis has 3. Perkins has 3. Rasheed Wallace, who's going to come in, he has 2. So they already have picked up 8 fouls between the 3 of them. Howard's done an excellent job.
And Sheldon Williams is not active today, their 5th big man, because of back spasms. So you wouldn't think that would usually come into play, but when they're trying to take fouls on Dwight Howard, it may well.
But I think you have another guy in Brian Scalabrine who has a great understanding of the schemes and what his job is. So you have another 6 fouls on the bench. He's a proven guy.
Howard 5 of 7 from the free throw line. Our first Scalabrine mention of the series. Nelson took it away. Pierce got it back, and then a foul is called. Is it against Carter or Nelson?
Going for the loose ball.
Now, it appeared to me that Mark Davis signaled 14 to the scores table, but they say it's on Carter. That would be his 3rd. So they didn't call a foul there.
To me, that's not a foul. That's just a loose ball and guys going after it.
It's a technical foul call on Carter. Now, again, Mark Davis signaled to the scores table 1-4. But they put it on Vince Carter, which is his 3rd. It would have been only Nelson's 2nd.
You know what bothers me, though, is when there's a bad call, and those happen, but then to tee the guy up for a bad call.
You're looking over at the replay.
Oh, come on. You can't tee a guy up for that. That's just bad officiating right there by Bill Kennedy. It's not about you, and it's not about your emotion. It's about a big-time player as Ray Allen gets a wide-open 3. It's about the players, and they're going to have a natural, normal reaction.
Redick on the pull-up. In and out. Lewis, the rebound. Back up. Blocked by Garnett. Here come the Celtics. Rondo. Little fake. Kicks it back out. Pierce for 3. Short. But Garnett with another rebound. Pierce will try again. Off again.
You know, the more I was thinking about it, I don't have a problem with the technical foul for Vince Carter. The reaction, obviously, if he did the same thing on the floor, he would have got a technical. So he goes, takes a look at the replay, and has that reaction at half court. I don't have a problem with that.
Pierce gets inside, hammered by Howard, and they call a flagrant foul on Howard as Pierce is shaken up on the play. So it'll be 2 shots and possession. Pierce gets up like he wanted to go at Howard, and then they push him away. Joe DeRosa called the flagrant foul right away. That's Howard's second personal.
Well, the foul was really on Petrus to start. But if you missed that one, that's a clear flagrant foul.
A hard impact and then the follow through. So
Petrus fouled him first, but that's clearly, I mean, you know what? If that's not a playoff foul right there, that's a flagrant. You're bordering on flagrant 2 right there.
I don't know what the delay is right now. Oh, there it is. Lissert checking some blood on Pierce for him to shoot the free throws.
But I like what the Celtic players did. They surrounded Pierce, and then Doc Rivers came on the floor and also grabbed him. You don't want to lose Paul Pierce for any time in this series.
Pierce will shoot with 2 free throws, then the Celtics will get out of bounds. We'll get possession again. We're all tied up with 4:16 remaining. What's been a physical game 2. That delights the crowd. And you see the Celtics right away. Kevin Garnett going right to Dwight Howard. Pierce with 16 points here in the first half.
And right now, you have to realize if you're a player, they're going to call it tight right now. So drive it hard, but also don't try to get physical. You got to play with your feet right now.
And if I'm Paul Pierce, I'm thinking, get me the basketball. This is how I'll do my talking.
And Jeff, right on cue, Pierce trying to battle for position. Petrus extra aggressive, quickly called for the foul. The officials see the way his game going and try and tighten it up a bit.
Right, you've got to just know that. I mean, that's just not smart.
This will be the 13th and 14th free throw for Boston. The Magic have taken 17. A lot of fouls here in this first half as we'll have a timeout.
Well, this is good. Going right back to Pierce. You know, normally that may not be anything initially, but right after the flagrant foul, that's always going to be called.
4:12 remaining here in game 2. Eddie Lissert, the cut man, working his magic courtside. They're going at it here in game 2. Celtics lead the Magic by 2 coming up at halftime. Stuart Scott, Magic Johnson, Michael Wilbon. We'll have the Toyota halftime report. We'll look at the first half and a draft lottery recap. If you're just tuning in, the first selection of the 2010 draft will go to the Washington Wizards. The late A. Poland's widow was the one doing the honors for the Wizards. A nice tender moment when she was wearing the championship ring of her late husband to bring her luck.
I can't wait to see John Wall and Gilbert Arenas go at it in practice. I want to be there in training camp.
I feel if Wall gets selected, it goes there. They'll be fun. The president's going to be going to a lot of Wizards games, Mark, wouldn't you think?
Absolutely. Might as well buy a Wizards jersey also.
Off the strip, Nelson lost it. Allen goes all the way. Offensive foul. Celtics thought that it was in the restricted area, but Allen will pick up the personal, his second.
And that's why I like the timeout. Matter of fact, I love the timeout by Stan Van Gundy. After the foul, Paul Pierce, get a timeout, let's talk about it. You want to be tough by making the gritty plays. Get back on the defensive end. Come up with loose basketballs. That's how you become tough in playoffs.
Howard spinning, puts it up, blocked by Garnett for the goaltend. And Dwight Howard has done an excellent job on the post. Better positioning, better patience. He has been very strong, Jeff.
Well, and that's another, they're moving them off screens, so there's more space. And another good play by Redick. You can make the case that Redick needs to be on the floor for them to score efficiently.
Pierce, spin move, blocked by Howard, but that's a goaltend. By the way, Howard just 13 points in game 1. He's got 15 already here in the first half of game 2.
And good coaching by Doc Rivers also. You have a star that's been ruffled up. He's on edge. Get him the basketball. Time and time again since the collision, they've gone to Paul Pierce, and he has stepped up.
Redick. Again, low post to Howard. Spinning. Flips it up and in. Dwight Howard. Huge comeback game here in the first half.
And another great pass by Rashard Lewis, getting him the ball in the paint.
Lewis has 3 assists, still only 2 points, but helping in other ways. Garnett. Pierce sets up. That's a 3. Paul Pierce. Talk about huge first halves. He's got 22. Redick. Boy, Redick so sharp.
As bad as game 1 was played in the first half, this has been a well-played first half.
Allen lost it off the deflection. Still Boston ball. And we'll have a timeout.
Talk about Paul Pierce. The hard foul by Dwight Howard. Well, you want the truth, it hurts. But the bottom line is you can't handle the truth. All by himself, bird's eye view at the three-point line, knocks down a dagger. Paul Pierce rolling.
Boston by 1 here in game 2 from Orlando. A little over 2 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Celtics, one of the reasons they have the lead. Paul Pierce, he's the subject of our Miller Lite Taste Greatness.
This isn't tasting greatness. This is gulping greatness. This guy has 22, and he's doing it in a variety of ways. 3-ball, pick and roll pull-up, spin back with a goaltend, and then another 3 off a great pass by Garnett. Pierce 22, 7 for 11, after only averaging 13.5 against Cleveland in that 6-game series.
You know, so much made about Kevin Garnett's injuries during the season. Pierce was banged up as well. He had a left foot injury. He had his right knee scoped in December, drained in February, hurt his right thumb, his right shoulder. There were some nights he looked like he had really aged. Had one great game against Miami, struggled a bit shooting against the Cavs as Allen misfires, but had an excellent game 1, and boy, has he been superb here in game 2. And an offensive foul on Howard. That's his 3rd foul, trying to establish position, pushing off Kevin Garnett.
At least the referees have been consistent. Perkins got called for the foul, and then this the same thing. Dwight Howard creates the contact to Kevin Garnett in transition. You got to be smarter. You don't want to pick up your 3rd foul in that situation.
And Jeff, you nailed it. Right after that flagrant foul, they are calling it a lot tighter than they did to start the game. And as a player, you have to be aware of that.
And I think Mark Jackson has a coaching job already. The way he is praising these officials, where are you going?
I said the consistency with the calls being
You're
made.
Mike Breen now.
Oh, no, please. You wash your mouth out with soap.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, wait a minute.
I can even take a shot at you when you don't even say anything.
I criticize officials more than you criticize coaches, that's for sure. Rondo goes at Gortat. Stops, misses, gets a rebound again. Bump, throws it up with the basket. A terrific, smart play from Rajon Rondo.
That's great quickness to the ball. Where he misses, there's no way he can beat you to that ball below the rim. And again, you got a gang rebound. Gortat's got to come back. He's got to clean that up.
And here's one thing. It's a mindset. So Rondo gets put to the ground, and he's helped up by a Magic player. Now, call me old school if you want, but I don't see anybody in green helping up anybody in white. That's not happening this entire series. You talk about Rondo hitting the deck. Well, he's on the floor. Let somebody come and get him. You see the green jerseys looking to sprint and come and get him. That can't be Matt Barnes as the guy helping up Rondo.
You are old school, and I like going to school when it's old.
Well, one of your teammates was Charles Oakley. If you helped up an opponent, he'd hit you.
Not just Charles Oakley, that just was across the board. We didn't accept it. And we loved the guys that we were facing.
Rondo with the steal, throws it off Nelson. And the Celtics will get it back. They lead by 3.
And this is a dangerous time for the Magic because Howard's out, Carter's out, down 3. Who can score and even get a good shot? And I think you look at it, say, who? J.J. Redick.
I agree. You use J.J. Redick the same way that he was used at Duke. Run him off the screens. He's great at catching the basketball, either shooting or making plays
in the paint, but you know what you're going to see from the Celtics. Paul Pierce has got it going, and they're looking to get him the basketball.
Just under a minute and a half left here in the second quarter.
Now, you're Jameer Nelson. You have to send Rondo to the left as opposed to let them go to the right.
Rondo falls down and throws it. Was tipped. Everybody wanted to travel, but they don't call that. In college, that's a travel. In the NBA, you fall down. Unless you gain an advantage, they don't call a travel.
Well, do you gain an advantage by skidding on the floor? I guess not. That's not really an advantage.
And again, a smart play after falling, throwing it off the leg of
I would keep rolling to the rim and try to flip it up in the paint.
Pierce. Garnett on a pull-up. That's his first field goal. And the Celtics back up by 5 with a minute to play in the half.
I like what Paul Pierce did that time, getting Kevin Garnett a wide open shot off the pick and roll.
Redick to Gortat. Pass to Barnes. Barnes tried again, blocked by Garnett. Barnes has had a lot of point-blank looks, just can't get him to go. Rondo crossover, flips it up, bank shot, misses. And a loose ball foul against Orlando. I believe it's against Rashard Lewis. So they're in the penalty. More free throws for Boston. They've taken 33 free throws already combined here in the first half.
And the correct call as Kevin Garnett has a clear path for the offensive rebound. Rashard Lewis shoves him in the back. KG going to the line.
28 personal fouls and 33 free throw attempts. Garnett, just 2 points here in the early going. His defense has been excellent. He's got 2 blocked shots. A reminder, amazing is being here. Season tickets for 2010-11 are on sale now. Go to NBA.com/tickets to reserve your seats. The NBA, where amazing happens.
And I've seen pit bosses change tires in a race car. Rajon Rondo just changed shoes midstream. I'm giving his pit boss a raise.
Garnett misses a pair. Garnett has been shooting very well in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. Not so far here in this series. Boy, extra aggressive on Lewis. Shot clock already down to 7. Redick to Barnes, has to heave it up, puts up the 3, puts it in as the shot clock expires. Big shot from Barnes, and the Celtics will hold it for the final possession of the half. Rondo to Pierce. Pierce for 3. And the second quarter comes to an end. Good, tough physical battle between the 2 best teams in the Eastern Conference. And Boston once again on the road will go into the locker room at halftime with the lead. But not by much, as Dwight Howard exploding in the first half with 17 points and 4 rebounds. Rajon Rondo, much better offensive game. Paul Pierce, though, the leading scorer of the game with 22. He's with Doris.
Paul, a vastly different level of competitiveness tonight. What pleased you most about how you guys reacted?
Well, we knew they was going to come out real aggressive first quarter, get the crowd behind them with a lot of energy. So the key is just to match their first run and just flow into the game. We know they're going to make runs, feed off the emotions of their crowd, but we got to stick with it.
Paul, obviously an efficient first half for you offensively. What are you trying to achieve when you get the ball?
Well, just be aggressive. I know I got a one-on-one opportunity there in the mid-range, and if they help, find guys. But most of all, just stay aggressive and look at my shot if it's not there swinging.
Paul, thanks. Mike.
All right, Doris, those boos you heard, that's as the officials were going off the floor at halftime. A hotly contested physical game, what we expected here in game 2. After the break, Stuart Scott, Magic Johnson, Michael Wilbon will have the Toyota halftime show. First half analysis and the draft lottery recap. The lottery happening earlier today. Magic needing a bounce-back win after their disappointing performance in Game 1 to lose home court advantage in the series. Trying to even things up. Halftime of Game 2 from Orlando. It's the Magic trailing the Celtics by 2. Point had 11-point lead. Orlando came back and took the lead. And now a close 2-point game after the first 2 quarters. And hi again, everyone. As we get set for the third, along with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Breen on hand. We'll check in with Doris in just a moment. But this is kind of what we expected in that first half. Tough physical play. And that's the kind of play the Celtics like, including Paul Pierce.
Well, he got off to a great start offensively. And in these 2 games, he's been able to exploit his offensive prowess. Here, first play of the game, spinning away from Carter. And then pick and roll, the easy pull-up with Howard back in the lane. Then he takes a very, very hard flagrant 1 foul that puts him down, and then he does what you do if you're a great competitor. Poise under pressure. Spin drive, and then another 3. This is your response when you get hit hard. Don't yell, don't complain, just play ball.
Meanwhile, Dwight Howard's response from getting hit hard in Game 1. That's tonight's Cooler Talk. And certainly he responded in a big way, Mark.
Well, absolutely. Made the correct adjustment. Struggled offensively in Game 1 because of the pressure of the Boston Celtics bigs. So you see, did not gather his feet. Off balance. Instead of going straight up, he's going away from the basket. That's a tough shot for anybody to make. Tonight, take a look. Does a better job of getting his feet set. So now he's set and ready to explode upwardly. It's a much better move. And then the adjustment also made, moving without the basketball. So they set the screen. Now they have to adjust. Recognition. Great pocket pass from J.J. Redick. Puts him in position where the defense is running towards him. Does a great job of making a move and scoring in the paint.
Our Cooler Talk presented by Gatorade as Howard. An excellent first half, but his team still trailing by 2 as the third quarter getting underway.
That was nice and heated in the first half. That's good basketball right there.
Playoff basketball at its best. First game was so choppy with Boston getting the big lead. Orlando made the run at the end, cut it to 2. Well, this one, as you said, Jeff, played well from both team standpoints. Carter looking for Howard. He's got Pierce on him. Close to a 3-second violation. Now they get it to Howard. Shot clock at 3 goes up, blocked, but a foul. Perkins blocked him, but it appeared Garnett hit him. And Kevin Garnett will pick up his first.
I like the adjustment made there. Vince Carter with size, he's able to see Dwight Howard. He's patient, and he's a better passer. So you put him in position in pick and rolls to deliver the basketball to Howard.
Howard took 7 free throws in the first half, hit 5 of them. You know, he's going to have to hit free throws for them to perhaps win a championship. Had some important free throws in the finals last year that could have won a game for him. And as we said earlier, he works at it. He really does. Some guys just are not going to be good free throw shooters. And he has struggled with consistency.
And so many people want him to be something he's not. He's a superstar defender, rebounder, a la Bill Russell type of player. But everybody is always critiquing that he should be a better post player. And maybe he should. But I don't think that's ever going to be his greatest strength.
Lewis is on Garnett. Celtics have not been able to take advantage of that. Nice pass from Rondo, and Perkins is hit as we send it over to Doris Burke.
Mike, I had a chance to talk to Magic assistant Steve Clifford. He said one of their biggest problems early in the basketball game was a lack of organization defensively. He said it wasn't necessarily the Celtics scoring in fast break, but that they weren't set. And as it relates to Paul Pierce in particular, they feel like their rotations were late, their help was late to him. They're going to try to disrupt his rhythm. Obviously, they were thrilled to see Dwight Howard start to draw some fouls and do some things on the offensive end, guys.
You know, I want to go back to something Coach just talked about with Dwight Howard, and I understand that mindset. But LeBron James went to the finals against the San Antonio Spurs. They basically did not play him on the perimeter. They dared him to beat him 4 games via the jump shot. He came back a better jump shooter. Is he ever going to be Reggie Miller or Ray Allen? No, but he's a much improved jump shooter. Dwight Howard has the same post game this year that he had last year. I'm saying come back with something better. Don't just satisfy with being great. Be an all-time great.
Well, let me just say this, though, in response to what you said, though, is with all that, they've both been to one finals each. So it's not like, as Rashard Lewis gets fouled, it's not like he hasn't propelled his team to the same exact heights that LeBron James has. So if we're going to be critical of Dwight Howard, then we too have to be critical of LeBron James. And I'm critical of him. I just think he should have more too. It's not like I'm saying he shouldn't have a better postgame, but some guys have natural touch. And he just doesn't have a natural touch. But he can jump.
Beautiful alley-oop. Now, there was a part in the regular season where we saw some little variety in his postgame, but he's not confident right now in using it all that much, especially in important games, as Barnes is called for a foul. He's even admitted that. He has worked on it, but just not seeing it on a regular basis. But it's pretty much made easy when they lob it in over the rim down the other end.
And this is a mistake by Kendrick Perkins. Your job is to keep a body on him, give recognition from Jameer Nelson and Dwight Howard, a play that they pretty much mastered.
Barnes has 3 fouls, so you have Barnes, Lewis, Howard, and Carter, 4 starters with 3 personals. Allen, nice pass. Perkins, the extra pass. Garnett misses. Perkins misses. Nelson comes up with it. Maybe one too many passes. Nelson to Carter. Flick of the wrist. Pierce the rebound, but foul. And who are they calling on? It's on Howard, and that's his 4th. I got the ball, he says to Billy Kennedy. But with him having 3 fouls, that's the kind of play he needs to stay away from.
No question. Again, it's poise as you're playing hard. It's enticing. He didn't foul him, though. And this brings me back to adding a foul or not fouling out.
Please don't go there.
I have to, because it's a double whammy. Not only do you get a team foul on a bad call, you also get your best player out of the game.
Pierce thought he was fouled. Nelson gets it down the court and banks in a layup. Just his 2nd field goal, but it puts the Magic up by 2. Rondo to Perkins, another nice pass. And Perkins having a strong offensive game for him. He has 10. All tied at 57. Carter. And Perkins picks up his 4th foul. Carter again attacking the basket. Well, Perkins and Howard, the 2 starting centers, each with 4. We've had 34 personal fouls already, and we're only a little over 2 minutes into the 3rd quarter. 39 free throw attempts, with 2 more coming up here.
And I think because of Dwight Howard's lack of offensive ability, and this is a credit to Gortat, the foul trouble of Howard, Gortat is an underrated guy. Actually comes into the ball game, and you don't lose much because he's an outstanding rebounder, can set screens, and offensively can catch and knock down a mid-range jumper.
And the Celtics, with Perkins having 4, they have some depth at that position. Glenn Davis, the first off the bench this time. They have Rasheed Wallace.
I think Gortat is a starting center. It's the place where the Magic have the best depth. Unfortunately, it's where they're played the guy who plays the most minutes.
Oh, Rondo goes past Quartet that time. Quartet, I think, got a piece of it, still went in.
And that's bad defense by Gortat. He has to do a better job of forcing Rondo to be a jump shooter. That's about the 3rd time that Rondo was able to get to the cup.
Especially if we're going to praise him. At least wear headphones and know you're getting praised right now.
Well, Jeff Dallas thought he was a starting center. They gave him a 5-year, $34 million deal in the offseason as Garnett comes up short. And the Magic thought so highly of him as a backup, they matched it. An incredible number for a backup center. Dallas wanted him to be their starter. Carter way off. And Gortat the offensive rebound. That's his 4th offensive rebound. And turnover number 9 for Orlando. That was a problem in game 1 for them. They had 18. Orlando Magic trying to tie this series up. A loss could be devastating, going down 0-2. Want to even things up before the series shifts to Boston. Shot clock at 5. Rondo fakes, scoops, and he puts it in. What a play from Rajon Rondo. 17 points for Rondo to go with 5 assists. Garnett guarding Carter, spinning, falling away. And Pierce with a rebound. Rebounding numbers tonight have been put pretty close. Orlando by 3. Allen to the basket, blocked, but a foul. And Ray Allen will shoot 2. Let's take another look at Rondo. What a pretty move.
Taking them to the streets. Excuse me. Everybody go to the left. The ability to make that play and still finish.
We'll take a timeout. 4 minutes gone by here in the third. Celtics by 2.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. Brought to you.
Third quarter of game 2. Boston leading Orlando by 2. Joe DeRosa, the veteran official and crew chief, here tonight in his 18th year. An unusual thing happened right at halftime as the teams went to the locker room. DeRosa going over to the scores table to get their jackets, along with the other officials who are blowing up for you so you can see it. You see DeRosa picks up the ball. They usually hand it to the scores table. There's a fan right behind really giving him an earful. DeRosa throws him the ball. The fan throws it back. And then Joe DeRosa looked to the security and said, throw the guy out. The NBA has told us that the whole situation will be reviewed after the game. The fan was obviously getting on him, and Joe DeRosa throwing the ball at him.
Listen, I have as much respect for Joe DeRosa as anybody that officiates. He didn't handle that right. But in no way should that impact him refereeing going forward in the playoffs. And I don't know if how they do their discipline, but the fan also should not be ejected for throwing it back after Joe threw it at him either.
But I will say this. Do whatever you would do if it was Rasheed Wallace or another player or a player on the floor or a coach that did that same thing. Now, by no means should Joe DeRosa miss the rest of the way.
My thing on that is, I think at times we have to expect more from fans. Just because you buy a ticket doesn't give you the right to do whatever you want.
Couldn't agree more as Gortat gets it out. Shot clock at 3. Jameer Nelson's going to have to fire it up. Back of the rim won't go, and Davis clears out his own teammates to get the rebound. Garnett been quiet so far offensively in the series. Not that time. His second field goal. The lead for the Celtics is 5.
It's now.
And Carter's shaken up, holding on to his left wrist.
He slipped right where Rondo fell, and this is where you have to do a better job from a crew staff under the basket of wiping that up.
You see the concern. Stan Van Gundy, they're going to call a 20-second timeout. Carter just holding that left arm off to the side. Let's take a look at the play again, pointing to that left hand. Yeah, that's the slip, Jeff, and then puts that left hand to brace his fall. Well, he's obviously in a lot of discomfort. And just holding it there, a little limp on the left side. So they'll attend to Carter. And just going down the floor and slipped. You wonder about, he's fortunate his knee, the way his knee buckled there. But that doesn't seem to be bothering him.
And right now, the Magic are in a heap of trouble, because Rashard Lewis is not giving him anything. Howard has 4 fouls. Carter out. Nelson struggling. I don't care how hard you compete in this league. If you cannot score, eventually you're going to be very frustrated.
And it's tough enough scoring against the Celtic defense. which for 4 straight games has not allowed their opponent 90. It's been the big part of this 4-game playoff winning streak. Redick is in. And again, Redick has been superb off the bench so far in a game and a half in this series. Howard back to Redick. Had an opening, finds it. Can't get it to go. Battle for the rebound. Knocked out of bounds. Magic ball. J.J. Redick in that first half, 11 points off the bench.
And I like Dwight Howard being back in the game right now. 4 fouls or not, you have no chance to score enough to win the way Rashard Lewis is playing if you're not going to your best players right now.
I think it's going to be important for Dwight Howard to be smart also. You don't want to get caught up in getting an offensive foul.
Barnes misses. Garnett the rebound. The Magic 4 of 10 from downtown. Such a huge part of their game and their success during the regular season. It's a big part of the Celtics defensive game plan is to stop the 3. Garnett gets it deep. High backer won't go. And Jameer Nelson amongst the Giants. Nelson penetrates, gets inside. Layup won't go. Garnett has it. Here come the Celtics the other way. Rondo on the drive. Garnett the trailer inside the Davis. And a foul call. It's going to go against Gortat. 3 on Gortat.
A foul on number 13, Robson Gortat. His 3rd penalty situation.
Again, the nice ball movement for the Celtics. Not a lot there in what's been a physical game. So Davis to the free throw line. And Davis didn't have an easy time early in the season. Broke his thumb. Missed the first 27 games. Even in the offseason was a problem for him when they signed Rasheed Wallace. He thought after last year's playoffs, when he played so well with Garnett out with the injury, he'd have the big minutes. Well, with the signing of Wallace, didn't play as much, but still hung in there, had some good moments, has had some very good playoff games. He's doing what Doc Rivers wants him to do. He's rebounding, he's playing tough defense, and occasionally scoring. The lead is back to 7 on this 9-0 run. And defensive 3 seconds called against Boston. And the defensive 3-second rule, for those who haven't watched a lot of the NBA, you have to be within guarding distance of your man if you're in the paint. You can't stay in the paint defensively for more than 3 seconds unless you're in guarding distance of a man. As Redick knocks down the technical free throw, Carter will return. So apparently he's okay. Sigh of relief for the Magic fans. We're midway through the 3rd. The Magic down by 6. Davis and Howard going at it. Carter is fouled by Pierce, and that's Pierce's 3rd foul. Celtics 14 foul. That has been a good physical game from the start.
Man, that floor must be wet right now. Everybody seems to be losing balance and slipping. And
well, we've talked about it's warm in this arena and a lot of sweat. And the ball boys try and do as much as they can to get out there and clean it up in between possessions. Meanwhile, they call that last foul on Rondo. What's that little dance move there from Big Baby Davis? Rondo has 2 fouls. Magic haven't had a field goal in the last 4 minutes. Howard takes his time, gets in left-handed. Won't go. Davis the rebound after good defense.
that was a good move, good offensive sequence, but a very poor finish. It was a very disjointed finish.
We flipped it up at the basket.
We actually call that $1 million move and a $5 finish.
Garnett finishes there, and the Celtics back up by 8. An 11-1 run. Garnett starting to come alive. Nelson the floater. Offensive foul. Glenn Davis draws the charge. Back-to-back defensive sequences from Big Baby Davis.
This is a big-time play and understanding who you are. He's not a big front-line guy, so doesn't have the shot blocking ability, so your job is to get to the spot. Does a great job taking the hit, the clear offensive foul by Jameer Nelson. But this is outstanding team defense, and Glenn Davis doing his job.
The Magic, the best shooting team in the playoffs, just 39% from the field against this Boston defense. Garnett given an opening. Howard goes for the fake. Garnett with the finish, and a lead back to 10.
And there's the difference right now. Big Baby Davis puts his body in front. Garnett from 21 feet drives it. Magic, get out of the way. No hard foul, no charge, and right now they're teetering on the brink.
Redick throws it out of bounds. Rush the pass and a turnover, number 11.
You're Dwight Howard. You have to do a better job staying down, and other guys in white jersey have to be in position to help. But a big-time finish by Kevin Garnett.
Rondo fakes, kicks it out. Garnett wide open again. This time Carter grabs it. It's been 5.5 minutes since the Magic have had a field goal. Howard wants the ball, calling for it against Garnett. Drives on him, spins, and grabbed by Pierce. Good aggressive move by Howard. Smart play from Pierce. That's 3 on Pierce.
But like I said, you are not going to score and beat the Boston Celtics by posting up Dwight Howard. You're doing them a favor this way. Away from the basket, they're going to force him to go to the foul line and make shots and also make tough post plays.
Howard 7 of 9 from the field, 7 of 9 from the free throw line. As a team, Orlando 18 of 23. Van Gundy with Jameer Nelson. Stan Van Gundy now in his 3rd year as head coach. What a great job he's done with his franchise. Making the NBA Finals last year, back in the conference finals. But his team in a little bit of trouble right now, down by double figures with 4 minutes to play in the 3rd. Rondo walks it up. Pierce with Carter on him. Shot clock down to 6. Rondo on the drive, looks up, flips it up high off the glass, won't go. And Howard with the rebound, his 5th.
Orlando's got to play faster right now. The ball's got to move.
Redick kicks inside, kicks it out. Good open look. That's a 3. It's good. Jameer Nelson knocks down a huge 3 for the Magic. Their first field goal in almost 6.5 minutes.
But that's their best offense. Putting the ball on the floor, moving the basketball, screen and roll, getting into the seams, making plays for one another. Not predictable offense where you post up one guy and trust that he's going to make a play. The Celtics are too good defensively to tell them what you're doing offensively.
What's going on? Stuart Scott in the studio with our Wendy's Real Deal performer. Kobe Bryant defined real deal in a Western Conference Finals Game 1 win over the Suns last night. Kobe with his 11th 40-point playoff game of his career. Game 2 tomorrow night at Staples. Guys.
All right, Stuart. Celtics leading by 7 with 3:15 remaining here in the 3rd in Game 2 of this series. Boy, the Lakers just tremendous last night, especially in the 2nd half. Now we know Kobe Bryant, how great he is, and one of the great players in the game. Gasol as well. But how about Lamar Odom? Mark, you've known him since he was a kid. There are some nights you watch Odom play and say he's one of the best players in the game.
No question about it. The things he can do on a basketball team to put a team in position to win. Just a tremendous, tremendous talent. And I love the way that he accepts his role and responds, flourishes in whatever coach asks him to do.
By the way, that was the Lakers' chief scout, getting ready for the finals if they make it there. Off the turnover. Howard deep, puts it in. Oh, in and out. And Garnett the rebound. Under 3 to play, 3rd period.
But that's his best chance to get deep position, is to run the floor.
Pierce trying to draw a foul. Carter stays with him nicely and then commits the foul. Well, Pierce just doesn't give up. Doesn't get there as quick as he used to, but just finds a way to make a play happen. And that's 4 fouls on Carter.
And I'm like you, Coach. I'm shocked. Vince Carter is looking like the referee made a bad call. This is a clear foul. Veteran move by Paul Pierce, getting him in the air. That's certainly contact. That's a foul.
Pierce had the big game one with 22 points, 22 in the first half here of game 2. Carter will sit with his 4 fouls, so Carter and Howard each with 4. Kendrick Perkins the only player with Boston with 4.
Allow me to say something. If the Orlando Magic continue to post up Dwight Howard, they will get swept. If they continue to post up Dwight Howard as the first line of offense, I would send a million pick and rolls with Howard and put him in a position where he can score. He's not going to dominate this Celtic team by posting up. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, but when your perimeter players are, what, 8 for 27, you're going to have a hard time winning anyway.
Lewis well short on the 3. And now 5 of 12. And the Celtics have made it their real top priority to defend that 3-point line.
Yeah, but I don't like his look. Rashard Lewis's look. It's like a disengaged look because he hasn't had a lot of opportunities.
He's only taken 3 shots, has made 1. Pierce sets. That 3 won't go. Howard couldn't control it, and Glenn Davis the offensive rebound.
And that's why I love the Celtics, because you don't get that look whether guys are touching the basketball or not. They do their job.
Tony Allen is in. Pierce manhandled him. He wanted the ball that time. Rasheed Wallace steps back. Ball tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Davis. Rashard Lewis, a 2-time All-Star. Struggled in game 1. More of the same here in game 2. Still doesn't have a 3-pointer. He was 5th in the NBA in the regular season in 3-point field goals made.
I agree with Coach. Where is the fire? Where's the passion? Where's the look that says, I got to get it going? Just don't see it.
Petrus, nice fake, doesn't settle, goes in, and gets hit.
And that's a good play by Lewis as they're all collapsing on that, off that pick and roll on Dwight Howard to skip it to Petrus, and then Petrus does a good job because Pierce is just running at him to take him off the 3. That's a good extra pass. Good decision by Petrus to go to the rim.
And, Coach, what you talked about also, once again, Rasheed Wallace committing the foul. Not concerned about how many fouls he has, following the game plan.
Petrus hits. And remind you, the 2010 playoffs continue tomorrow night. Game 2 between the Lakers and the Phoenix Suns from Staples Center. TNT will have it. Coverage begins at 8, tip-off shortly after 9 Eastern. And then ESPN on Saturday. The series shifts to Boston for Game 3 from the TD Garden. Tip-off shortly after 8:30. Will the Celtics be up 2-0, or will it be all even? Magic down by 7 with a little over a minute remaining here in the 3rd. Pierce spinning, pulls up, knocks it down. 26 to Paul Pierce.
The game is just easy for him right now. He's getting to his spot, he's balancing up, and he's knocking it in.
Like that game 3 had in Miami. That was the real big breakout game he had in these playoffs in the first round. Lewis gets it to go. And that could be a huge shot, maybe a starting point for Rashard Lewis.
You know, but that's the type of action that will get him open looks. Good read by J.J. Redick.
Davis batting it around. Pierce to Davis. Nice pass. Davis up and under. Pretty play from Pierce, and Davis with a nice finish.
That's got to be a charge.
Redick on the pull-up. And a whistle and a foul. It's going against Boston after the shot attempt. So it's Rasheed Wallace with his 4th, and the Celtics in the penalty. For a big guy, Glenn Davis moves well.
That's a good pocket pass by Pierce. late rotation. That catch-and-shoot defense, particularly on Ray Allen, has led to some open threes and some late rotations. They're going to have to do a better job taking away, doing more than one thing.
Howard now 8 of 12 from the free throw line as Matt Barnes comes in for J.J. Redick. You see Petrus next to him. You know, you talk about where is Orlando going to get some offense with Lewis struggling, with Carter on the bench. Petrus is one of those guys that has capabilities of getting hot.
He does, but that's when teams leave him open at the three-point line. Boston, more attention to detail and less rotation, can close out quicker.
You've always talked from way back when you were coaching, even with the Knicks, about obviously three-point shooting teams are good, but teams that defend the three equally as important, and the Celtics do a great job.
Absolutely. You have to do both.
Shot clock is turned off. Crowd gets on his feet, hoping for a magic stop. Their team down by 6. Here's to Rondo. Rondo steps back, jump shot, knocks it down. Rajon Rondo with 19. Here's Petrus. That'll count if it goes. Good attempt, but off the mark. And the third quarter comes to an end. The Boston Celtics, so good on the road in these 2010 playoffs. 4-2 so far on the road, including 3 straight. Once again with a lead in hostile territory. Right now the Magic hurting. They trail the series and trail this one. It's 78-70 as we head to the fourth quarter.
Welcome back to Orlando with Stan Van Gundy. Different level of competitiveness from your guys. What's been the difference for Boston?
Well, they're just moving the ball great. We can't stop them. We haven't held them one quarter under 25. We cannot stop them.
Stan, thank you. Mike?
All right, Doris and Mark, part of it is the help defense in the front court.
Well, KG, the shot fake, able to get into the paint area uncontested. How about on this side? Reminds me of rap music in the 90s. It is hammer time. Nothing free for Dwight Howard. Foul him and send him to the line.
Let's send it back to Doris.
Guys, Jameer Nelson said this team is at its best when Stan is driving them with his energy. In that last huddle, he was pleading. He said, guys, I need more from you defensively. Every closeout, every rotation, every help situation, we have to be better. It was all about defense in that huddle, guys.
Well, the Magic had not lost 2 straight games at home all season long. They're a terrific road team during the regular season, 34-7. Their first home loss of the playoffs, obviously, in Game 1. Meanwhile, the Celtics, in their storied history, have never won each of the first 2 games of a playoff series on the road. They've got a chance to do that here tonight as Petrus called for a foul. That's his third.
His third first team foul.
In the regular season, the Magic had a big fourth quarter comeback to win a tight game here. But if the Celtics don't turn it over, I just don't see how the Magic are going to create enough offense to make a comeback.
Rondo kicks it out to Wallace. Tough catch, puts it up, puts it in. A three-pointer for Wallace. That was a difficult catch and still gathered himself, and it's an 11-point lead, matching the largest of the game.
And this guy has been big. The last 3 games of the Cavs series and then this series. He's played outstanding basketball.
And a foul call on Tony Allen. And as J.J. Redick shaking up on the play.
Good find by Rondo, all by himself playing pool. 3-ball corner pocket.
And that's a tough 3 because it was a very poor pass. He had to reach out with his left hand. Hard closeout by Lewis. Again, that offense right there, if you make those shots, you're winning games. Give the Celtics credit. They played a very good game too here.
Redick back to Petrus. Shot clock down to 6. Lewis inside. Back up top. Good open look. Jason Williams nails it. Big bucket from Williams to cut it to 8.
And good basketball by Dwight Howard. Inside out pass on point to J.J. Redick.
But why are they doubling? Why? And I know that wasn't the game plan, but you have to resist the temptation to give help.
Oh, Tony Allen, nice move. Can't finish. Howard the rebound. Williams on the drive. Beatrice, that's a 2. Back-to-back jumpers for the Magic. And all of a sudden, it's a 6-point game.
And even on that pick and roll, Beatrice hits the shot, but Howard is wide open off the roll to the hoop. He's getting wide open anytime he sets the screen on the ball.
Rondo goes at Williams. Tough shot. Gets it to go. Rajon Rondo's made some difficult shots. He's got 21.
You can make the case this Celtic team is as good as the championship team because of Rondo's improvement.
Redick gets past Tony Allen, stripped and fouled. Rasheed Wallace has picked up his 5th. You don't get any easy baskets going to the hole when Rasheed Wallace is down there.
No, and this is just great offense. Jason Williams cuts him off. Tough runner to his right hand. This is just great individual improvement from a young player who came into the league not even being able to close to do something like that. And this is why I believe they're every bit as good as their championship season.
And he's really showing he can shine in the playoffs. And you see the numbers from game 1 to game 2. He had that spectacular triple-double in game 4 against Cleveland.
And I'll say this, I thought he played as well in game 1 with less numbers as he's playing tonight, because he was just finding the right guy time and again with his decision making.
And he doesn't care whether he scores 2 or 22. As the Celtics have a 6-point lead, just over 2 minutes gone by here in the 4th quarter of game 2.
And you just get the sense, the feeling that this is Rondo's team. He is running the offense.
Shot short, Lewis the rebound. Been a transformation for the Celtic team with all the veterans. Rondo strips Jason Williams of it. The NBA steals leader during the regular season. Allen to Rondo, reverse. Oh, he got it to go. Great English off the backboard. The lead back to 8.
So he forces the steal that could have cut it to 4, and then he finishes down at that end.
Lewis cross court. Petrus sets himself, now drives, sidesteps, flips it up. Shot won't go. Perkins the rebound. Rondo calls out the play. Doc Rivers has a lot of confidence, lets him call out a number of the plays throughout the game. Ray Allen's been quiet tonight. Shot clock down to 5. Allen, Perkins. Perkins pass inside, deflected. Nice play by Petrus.
And if you're Kendrick Perkins, turn down 2 shots. You have to be aggressive and live with the results.
And a foul on Perkins away from the ball. And that's 5 on Perkins. Second team foul against the Celtics, and we'll have a timeout. Rajon Rondo, an all-star point guard, developing into one of the best point guards in the NBA.
This just in. This is a bad man here on the offensive end. Team needing to score. Rondo puts him on his back. And how about this? Excuse me, I'm going to the other side. 23 big points for Rondo.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. Brought to you by
Boston Celtics leading 85-77. The evolution of Rajon Rondo, a big part of this season for the Boston Celtics. Paul Pierce says it took a little while, but it was important.
When Rondo evolved as the player he is right now, it kind of changed how we did things, because a lot of times the offense would go through me, Kevin and Ray. We do a lot of the ball handling. Rondo didn't play much in the 4th quarter that year we won the championship. Now he's emerged into a top-flight point guard to where you got to get him the ball to push tempo, to get us easier looks, and it saves on the wear and tear from us. And so we have to learn to pretty much, hey, now we're going to play off Rondo instead of Rondo playing off us.
Yeah, that's a pretty big evolution for a point guard playing with 3 guys who could be in the Hall of Fame someday. And he has handled it well, Mark.
Well, I'm absolutely enjoying watching this young man in the playoffs. Outstanding job of being the quarterback, running his team. And I'll go so far as to say there are not 5 point guards in this world that could run a team the way that Rondo has ran this Celtic team in the playoffs.
Howard down low, flips it up, shot, gets the roll. 25 for Howard. Magic still only down by 6 and plenty of time remaining here in the 4th.
And I say that because I'm watching Rondo. He's never looking at Doc Rivers. He is running this offense. Doc Rivers trusts him to make the proper calls. I mean, I believe in the study. I believe in your work habits. I believe in your attention to what the game plan is.
Meanwhile, Perkins just fouled out. Moving screen on that. So that's 6 on Kendrick Perkins. He is done for the night. 10 points, 5 rebounds, as usual, strong defense. And Glenn Davis is going to come in for him. They'll miss Perkins, especially his defense on Howard, although Davis has done a very good job as well.
I don't see a foul there either.
He doesn't want any water. He's mad.
You know, you get reputations as screeners. He has one that he sets illegal screens. And so on 50-50 calls, you know, you're more at risk.
And a foul call on Pierce. Celtics now with 14 fouls, and that's 4 on Pierce. Rasheed Wallace has 5. He's currently on the bench. And Pierce with 4. Howard and Carter each with 4 personals. For the Orlando Magic, as Tony Allen is going to give Pierce a breather.
If I'm Stan Van Gundy, I'm absolutely shocked that I'm down just 6 points with a little less than 8 minutes to go. I will take this if I'm Stan Van Gundy and hope that my offense wakes up.
Carter just 3 of 11 from the field. Deep in the post is Howard. Knocks it down. 4-point game. 27 for Howard on 9 of 12 from the field.
And that's the depth you need.
Rondo, bad pass. Garnett didn't cut to the basket. Nelson the steal. Carter inside, knocked away by Garnett. Poked away again, and Redick comes up with it. Redick on the drive. Foul from behind. He'll shoot 2 free throws with a chance to cut it to 2.
And I like the read by Redick. Rather than throwing it into Dwight Howard, he put the ball on the floor and made a play, creating the contact and going to the line. Great decision by J.J. Redick. Has Dwight Howard on the post, that's not a position where he's effective. Put the ball on the floor and make a play.
Redick continues his fine play. 14 points off the bench, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. The former star at Duke admitted that he was humbled his first couple of years in the NBA, but he kept working, and now such a contributor.
And this is depth. Carter misses him early. Dwight Howard posting up below the dotted circle. Another good entry pass by Rashard Lewis.
85-83. They've cut an 11-point fourth quarter deficit to 2. And still plenty of time remaining. The crowd on its feet here at the Amway Arena in Orlando. Allen kicks it out. Rondo inside. Tony Allen. Ball knocked away and stolen by Howard. Nelson sets it up. Lewis on the drive. Gets to the basket. Flips it up. Misses. And Tony Allen the rebound.
And that's just not where Rashard Lewis feels comfortable putting that ball down.
Rondo bounce pass to Allen. And gets it to go. Another pretty pass for his 8th assist. Just past the midway point here in the 4th. Carter. Knocked out of bounds. Still Magic ball. Carter wanted a foul. And we'll have a timeout. Magic will have 8 to shoot when they return. Orlando trying to avoid losing the first 2 games at home here in the Eastern Conference Final. It's been a tough task, especially with the play of Rajon Rondo. What a superb game he's had. 23 points, 8 assists, just 1 turnover. Rondo and the Celtics a 4-point lead with 5:49 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Remaining fourth quarter in Orlando. Rajon Rondo, the subject of our Windows 7 winning combination.
Well, once again, just a spectacular night of getting it done. You talk about using great quickness. Inside, out, attack, dribble at Gortat, has no chance at defending. How about this? I see your eyes. Don't look at the basketball, Gortat. He does, and he pays the price. Excuse me, Rondo with a layup. Then the crossover, getting into the seams, going away from his body, his strong hand. And how about this? Opposite, kisses it off the glass. There should be a debate. Who is the best quarterback in Boston, Brady or Rondo?
Brady's got a few titles. Carter will inbound. They have 8 to shoot.
Wow. What a statement.
Carter fakes. Carter on the pull-up. Gets it to go. Back to 2. This is why Vince Carter is with the Orlando Magic, why they made the trade for games like this. He's got 14. Pierce comes off the screen. Nice feed to Davis, and he throws it down. Celtics ball movement and the extra bounce pass again. 5 assists for Pierce. Nelson. Howard deep against Davis. Won't go. Garnett the rebound.
Well, similar to game 1, the video we showed. That move was fading away from the basket. Get solid position. You want to take the smaller Davis towards the basket.
Garnett left wide open. Nelson the rebound. Under 5 to play. Redick. Carter. Way short. Howard had it, lost it, but he was held by Garnett. And free throws coming up for Howard as Garnett picks up his 3rd. Slow down, says Stan Van Gundy.
Well, this is a wide screen. See, that screen is set way off the lane line, so it opens up a bigger pocket to throw that pass. Add in that Garnett's above the free throw line. That makes it a tough rotation for Dwight Howard to get all the way to the baseline. If you're Carter on that, and you see that if Howard misses another free throw, you've got to take him to the point of the screen and then shoot the gap.
Perkins can only watch. Davis now the man guarding Howard. Howard 9 of 14 from the line. As a team, they've hit 26 of 33. One of 2 for Howard, 28 points for the game.
And I'd much rather have is if Glenn Davis is setting that screen on Paul Pierce and you're Vince Carter and Rashard Lewis, why not switch it? If you're Rashard Lewis, step up to the challenge and be the guy defending Pierce on that pick.
Allen fires away a 3. Won't go. Nelson another rebound.
This is when they've got to continue to play with pace.
Lewis for 3. Howard the rebound, goes high, 1 dribble, back up, and he's hammered, and he'll go back to the line as Pierce. And Howard with a little extra after the whistle push.
I love the energy by Howard. That's how you get it done. Go get the basketball. You want to win, dominate the paint area. Great job of battling for position and then pursuing the basketball, forcing the issue with aggressiveness, creating the contact. That's how you say I want to win this game.
Pierce now with 5 fouls.
Now, Coach, I agree with you. If you're the Magic, push the basketball. That's your best offense. Just push the basketball down the throat of this Celtic defense.
And it's not necessarily as Howard gets a friendly bounce. It's not necessarily to get the quick shot, but you're trying to catch them before their defense can get set. Both teams, when their defense is set, is very difficult to score on.
The 17th free throw attempt for Howard. One-point game, 30 for Howard. The crowd on its feet once again as we get under the 4-minute mark. Rondo slips and falls. Miles trying to find it. And a travel call on Rondo.
Now you tell me the difference from his previous slip.
He slipped in the first half. Didn't call a travel. Let's see.
To me, this is a very interesting decision. Well, first of all, I don't even know if he has the ball, but I'm confused as to when you're gaining an advantage.
Yeah, that one did not look like it should have been a travel, but it's the 6th turnover in the 4th quarter for Boston. Carter puts it in. The Magic regain the lead.
And if you're Vince Carter, this is why they brought you to Orlando. Pick and roll, Big Baby Davis. You have no business defending me. Carter knocks down the dagger jump shot, and the crowd is going crazy. Magic up 1.
Back in Orlando, where the Magic hoping to even things up. So when they go to Boston for Game 3 on Saturday, the series will be tied. Our coverage begins Kia NBA shoot-around at 7:30. Tip-off shortly after 8:30 on Saturday night. Magic had a big 4th quarter comeback in Game 1, but they were too far behind. Now the comeback has them take the lead.
Well, this is how you get yourself going. Dwight Howard spin-out lob, and then an underrated passer off the dribble hits Jason Williams on point, and then gets a friendly bounce, gets deep for his right-hand jump hook. And the way he's working the high-low game, you've got to get that depth. You cannot continue to post up on the block. Those block post-ups play into the Celtics' advantage. The deep paint catch plays into the Magic advantage.
We saw Howard, it's the most points he scored in this postseason. He's got 7 here in the 4th quarter, and as you saw, 30 for the game. Still 3.5 to play.
But only 8 rebounds. He has got to clear the board cleanly and finish the defense.
Pierce to Garnett. Garnett inside. Can't get it to go. Davis had it, lost it. Should be Magic ball. It is.
And here's the difference on that play. Rashard Lewis comes from the weak side and forces KG into a tough shot. That's excellent team defense.
What a huge game this is for two teams, both with hopes of winning a championship. Boston can take that 2-0 commanding lead. Magic, meanwhile, trying to even things up. Carter on the drive, falling away.
I absolutely think he should have kept going to the rim. Don't shoot the step back.
Ray Allen on the drive. Rondo resets as we go under 3 minutes. Magic have fouls to give. Rondo looking. Wants to get it to Garnett. Shot clock at 5. Tough shot. Garnett knocks it down. Celtics back up by 1.
That's a tough shot, but once again, that's good defense by the Magic.
Great defense. Howard could have finished with a better contest, but still well covered.
Carter. Nice crossover. Redick getting big minutes again. He's brought them real grit once again. Shot clock at 4. Redick on the drive. The floater. Offensive foul. Glenn Davis draws his second charge. J.J. Redick arguing with Mark Davis.
It's just great defense again. Glenn Davis coming from the weak side.
That's a block right there. He was in the shooting motion before Davis had gotten set. Plus, he was fouled by Garnett on the perimeter.
And that's what Redick was saying to Davis. Pierce on the drive. Up top, Garnett fakes. Again, Howard all over him. Ray Allen looks up. Shot clock at 4. And a timeout. Doc Rivers was screaming to get a timeout. You couldn't hear Rivers, obviously the official. You couldn't hear the whistle either. Right now, the shot clock says 5. And it's going to be Celtics ball to inbound. Let's see if they put any time back up. But I don't think so. Kevin Garnett giving the Celtics, helping them regain the lead, Mark.
And good defense by Dwight Howard, staying at home with Rondo, and then once he picks it up, they switch. KG makes a tough shot, fadeaway jump shot over the contested hand of Dwight Howard. That's the ticket. Celtics with a big, big fadeaway check.
One-point game, stops and scores. Listen, play together. Keep moving the ball together, all right? We don't have to play any hero stuff. Play together. When you get your shot, take it.
Kevin Garnett got the shot, and the Celtics back up by 1 with 2:01 remaining. They're going to inbound now with 5 left on the 24. Orlando once again having a strong fourth quarter like they did in game 1, but they had too big a deficit to overcome. Here they are in the fourth quarter. This, Jeff, one of the best hotly contested playoff games we've seen in this postseason. What's been the key for Orlando getting back into it?
Well, great defense. Multiple, more efforts. They've played harder, and they've caused some turnovers.
And what I like, they fought through adversity. Tough times are going to come in the playoffs. You have to be able to fight through it.
And the defense has forced turnovers. Boston with 6 of them here in this fourth period. Again, the Celtics led by as many as 11. Pierce, 2 on the shot clock, puts it up. And the rebound out to Garnett, a new 24.
But see, and that's been their problem. They're not rebounding the ball and finishing possessions. Dwight Howard, when he's in single figures, it's going to be very difficult for the Magic to win.
Howard and the Magic have a foul to give. Davis to Rondo. Shot clock down to 4. Rondo puts up the jumper. It's good. Rajon Rondo again, and the Celtics up by 3. 25 for Rondo.
But that's exactly what I was talking about. People said he couldn't shoot, came back a better shooter.
Nelson, that's a 3. Allen the rebound.
I don't like that shot at all.
No, that's a contested 3 early in the clock. You know, you take that shot plus Carter's step back. Those are 2 difficult shots.
Rondo on the drive, layup won't go. Lewis the rebound. Minute remaining. 3-point Boston lead. Nelson to the basket, banks it in. It's back to 1.
A much better play by Jameer Nelson, putting pressure on the Celtics defense, getting all the way into the paint.
Chance of defense from the Magic crowd. They're on their feet here at Amway Arena, desperate to tie this series. Pierce with Redick on him, spins, and a foul call. Nelson came over to help, and Pierce will go to the free throw line. Redick called for the personal.
Foul number 7, J.J.
Redick upset.
His third, first in the last 2 minutes.
If that's a foul, that is on Jameer Nelson. He looked like he bodied him. Again, he should have. That's a foul by Nelson.
They give it to Redick, however. Pierce 7 of 9 from the free throw line. Having another strong game as they try and distract him. Pierce hit some very big free throws in the playoffs in the 2008 playoff run to win the championship. Gortat's going to come in. And Boston goes back up by 2. It's amazing how games like this with so many big plays and often comes down to who hits free throws down the final seconds.
That was actually very good defense by J.J. Redick. Playing against a superior offensive guy, he battled, contested, kept him in front of him.
2 clutch free throws as Pierce rattles in the second one. And Boston back up by 3 with 34.7 remaining.
And the critical decision for the Magic are, do they try to go 2 for 1 where they get a shot basically on the first catch, or do they try to get a 3, which I wouldn't say you don't have to settle for a 3, but I think you almost have to, with the way the Celtics shoot free throws, you almost have to go 2 for 1.
Meanwhile, the Orlando Magic have just 1 timeout remaining. Does that come into factor in terms of that decision?
No, I don't think when you have a timeout it has any factor in it. If they had no timeouts, then you would certainly have to do it because you can't play the free throw game and the advanced game.
And to me, it makes the most sense for the Magic to go 2 for 1. You want to try to get a quick hitter, whether it be attacking the basket or a quick penetration, finding guys on the perimeter for 3.
Meanwhile, for the Boston Celtics, up by 3. Again, they blew the 11-point lead. Orlando came back and took the lead, but now free throws by Pierce put them back up. Stan Van Gundy diagramming the play. If you're Orlando, anyone in particular you'd like to see with the ball?
Well, it's got to be Vince Carter. Vince Carter has got to initiate the play. The problem is, if it's Howard on the roll, you go back to that, he gets fouled again. And, you know, then you're talking about can he make his free throws.
The thing I really like is you put Vince Carter in a pick-and-roll situation with Howard. You're putting a big on him. He is good enough to get his own shot, lifting from three-point range, and as good as it gets when his feet are squared and he has a bird-eyed look at the rim.
Vince Carter, an 8-time All-Star, All-NBA player. This is his first conference final he's played in as he came back home near his hometown of Daytona Beach. And these are the moments, again, that we've said that he was acquired for. He's made some big shots here in the fourth quarter, but his team's still down by 3.
And they first have to make sure they get the ball in, particularly against Rondo. Very good at anticipating.
Redick looking. Carter drives on Davis. Inside, gets hit, flips it up, almost put it in. Terrific attempt. And Carter's going to shoot some free throws. And that's Paul Pierce's 6th foul. He is done. 28 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds for Pierce. But he fouls out.
And they're putting Tony Allen in, I would suspect, only for the free throw rebound. Because I would think they would be taking a timeout so they can get Michael Finley in to shoot free throws.
Carter misses the first free throw. Huge right there. Carter will get another one. That's his first miss. He was 5 for 5. There's a 7.9 difference between the game clock and the shot clock.
But again, the Magic, because they got that shot off early, they don't have to foul.
Carter misses both. Davis the rebound. And the Celtics call timeout. 2 huge critical misses for Vince Carter and the Magic. And Boston maintains their 3-point lead. We just said it a moment ago, sometimes it comes down to who hits their free throws. Pierce hit his 2, Carter missed his.
And then, excuse me, if you're Vince Carter, these are shots that you have to knock down. You understand when a guy misses a foul shot, that can happen, but certainly Vince Carter, a very good free throw shooter, going to the line, missing 2, and Paul Pierce saying, what a smart play. I'll take my 6th foul to get the basketball back.
Carter, 79% for his career from the free throw line this year, 84%. But misses 2 big ones right there.
And it's a make or miss league. Pierce goes down at the other end. He makes his 2 to give him the 3-point cushion. Carter misses 2. And now, not only do you need a stop and a rebound, but you're going to then somehow going to have to be able to generate a 3-point shot coming out of a timeout.
And again, Orlando still, they have 1 timeout remaining, but they no longer have a foul to give, nor will they use it here.
And if you're the Magic, I think you have to look to overplay Finley and Allen. Force somebody else to catch the basketball because those 2 guys are great free throw shooters.
Ray Allen wanting it. Redick right on top of him.
And to me, again, I am helping off Michael Finley. If a guy's going to come in cold and make, so be it.
Allen isolated up top with Redick. Shot clock down to 7. Here comes Garnett to set the high screen. Allen to Garnett. Puts up the jumper. In and out. Redick the rebound. Timeout. They're trying to call timeout. The clock winds down to 3.5 remaining. I think they'll put more time up on the clock.
No, but that's a horrible play by Redick.
Because he advanced the ball, so now they have to take it out.
Now they're out of timeouts, and they can't advance it.
What he needed to do was call the timeout as soon as he caught the ball. But once you advance the ball on the dribble, now you can't advance it on the timeout, so they'll inbound from the backcourt.
Stan Van Gundy upset about it. That's something that they probably talked about it prior to this play. Rebound the basketball and get a quick timeout.
Well defended, good contest by Howard, nice block out by Lewis. And right there, again, if you're gonna push it and play in transition, go ahead and play in transition. Don't go right before half court. And now if you're the Celtics, you really have to think about, do you want to foul to prevent the three-point shot?
Especially the ball in the back court now. With a little inbound. If Redick had secured the rebound, immediately called timeout, they would have advanced the ball into the front court, but couldn't once he put it on the floor. And they're not putting any time on the clock. It remains 3.5, where Orlando will inbound in the back court. So the question we've seen so often the last couple of years, do you foul if you're the Celtics?
Well, to me, I'm certainly fouling, especially if I got 5 guys on the floor that I can trust to make the play. And also, I'm not playing anybody below the three-point line. I'm defending with 5 guys above the three-point line.
Orlando out of timeouts. Redick will inbound with Nelson, Carter, Lewis, and Howard.
I see there's no reason to play Lewis and Howard below the three-point line right now.
Redick looking. He's got to get it in. Finds Nelson. Nelson looking for an opening, puts up the 3. Oh, just short. And the Celtics win and take a 2-0 lead. They start the Eastern Conference Finals with 2 road wins as they hold off the Magic here in the 4th quarter for the 2nd straight game. As Boston wins their 5th straight playoff game, 4th straight on the road. And are now 2 wins shy of a return to the NBA Finals. And for the first time in their franchise history, they've won back-to-back road games to start a playoff series.
He couldn't get the ball in. This is actually a smart play by the Celtics. You got Jameer Nelson going away from his strong hand. That's a tough shot to make. Wasn't in position to commit the foul once he put the ball on the floor. And Paul Pierce loving the miss and having his team up 2-0.
He had to watch with 6 fouls, but before he fouled out, he had 28 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and he's with Doris.
Paul, a far more emotional, competitive game than game 1. What ultimately made the difference for your team?
I just think our mindset coming into this game. Our mindset was ready for the type of intensity it was going to bring. You know, when you lose that first one at home, you change your mindset. And I think our mindset changed, too, that we wanted to get this win, keep it going, and then go home and try to finish it off. But it's going to be one game at a time. We know the Magic are a talented team, and we're not going to take these 2 wins for granted.
In the Cleveland series, though you were checking LeBron, so much was made that you were not scoring the basketball. It's been vastly different. 2 big free throws down the stretch. What's changed for you in this series?
Well, I don't have to focus on guarding LeBron as much. You know, that kind of wears you down. And when you're preparing for him, it just, that's all you focus on. You don't really worry about the offense. Hopefully the other guys can carry us. But this series, I feel like I got an opportunity to be more aggressive on the offensive end, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Where is your mindset? This is a team that has a seriousness about it. The tendency would be human nature lets you relax up 2-0. What do you think happens in Boston?
Our fans aren't going to let us relax. Y'all not going to let us relax. We're going to try to close this out 2 games. Y'all hear me? We're coming home to close it out.
Paul, thank you. Mike.
Doris, the story of these rejuvenated Celtics continue. They win another road game, and they'll head back to Boston up 2-0. Game 3, we'll have it for you on ESPN Saturday night. Our coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern. Tip-off shortly after 8:30 Eastern. Pierce played a superb game. Rajon Rondo, another brilliant performance. And Boston in command in the Eastern Conference Finals as the Magic lose back-to-back home games for the first time this season. Final score in Game 2, Celtics 95, and the Magic 92 to lead 2-0 in this best-of-7 series. Up next on ESPN, it's SportsCenter. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Mark Jackson, Jeff Van Gundy, Doris Burke, and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Breen saying so long from Orlando as the Celtics get another impressive road win.